Hi traders, welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris Forsick from Elite Currency, and before we take a look at the euro dollar, I always want to let you know about Portfolio ECS. Go to elitecurrency.com, click on products. Portfolio ECS is a mixture of trading systems, semi-automated, automated, different types of instruments, of course, and trading styles, fundamental and technical analysis. So check out that link for more information if you want to be an investor. It's fully passive. All right, euro dollar weekly chart, very bearish candle, and we broke through that 50 fib that I had on the chart last week that acted as support, with price testing it a couple of times on the daily chart, as you can see here, 4 times. The 5th time it finally broke. The 4th time we did get a bounce. I said that this is likely to be a bouncing spot back to resistance. It didn't go as deep as I expected. I thought it might go back to, on the 4-hour chart, I saw some divergence and was expecting it to go higher, at least to 117.50, I was thinking. But it didn't manage to break the 144 EMA. Ultimately, 116 was the bouncing spot again, and the next push below the 20 EMA sealed the deal here, with also, of course, the fundamentals pushing the dollar last week with the higher than expected inflation and costs rising, indicating maybe less quantitative easing and more interest rates perhaps increasing in not right now probably, but in the long run, or midterm I should say maybe. So you can see with the 21 EMA break below, the price breaking below it with the red candle, that sealed the deal here and made this go bearish and dropped more than 100 pips, was 120 pips here for a follow through to the downside, and not breaking the 144 EMA for the 3rd time was too much for this euro dollar. So we did have some retracement, smaller than a rebreak, and the 5th break below this 50 fib, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, made this fall. Now, at the moment, these daily candles, however, are slowing down. You see, we first had a very strong impulse candle, then a medium candle, then a kind of a smaller candle. So that showing a little bit of slowdown there in the momentum. Weekly candle, however, very strong. And I expect price to go down to the next fib at 61 and maybe even 78.6 fib. So I do expect it to go further down. However, with that daily candle in mind, I was wondering if we can get maybe some small retracement of the weekly candle, maybe to the 38.2 fib, for instance, at 115, and then bounce there for a move down to that 61.8 fib at 113.50. So let's now take a look. We're also breaking below the fractal at the 144 EMA. We're clearly below the 20 EMA. This is looking bearish in all regards, of course, with this break below the 50 fib. On a higher time frame, we're also in bearish territory now, below the 20 EMA on the monthly chart, and therefore we're looking at a drop possible to retest the previous bottom. So in my view, the wave 3-4 scenario is very unlikely at this moment. That is out of the window for me, and we're probably going to test the previous low down at 106, 107.50. That's the long-term, or say mid-long-term target for the euro dollar for the moment. And we'll have to see how price responds to that bottom. But a test of that bottom seems likely. The 78.6 fib is also a strong level, of course, so it could fall down to 110.75, for instance. Whether this is a triangle or not depends on the reaction at the bottom. Actually, I have to move this fib to here. Sorry, 110 exactly is the 78.6 fib. That's a strong level, of course. So this could be an A, B, C, D, E, and down it breaks. And this could be wave D. Or this could be an A, B, C, D, E, and it breaks up. In this case, it's a wave C. Now, at this moment, I think that it's a little bit tricky, but I would say probably a bearish break, maybe a little bit more likely at this point. Because of the formation here in general, I think that we could see maybe a retest of this bottom at this moment, with the momentum kicking below and looking at the moving averages. Price is below the 144 EMA, with the 21 EMA below it as well. So the bears have a slight edge here, but ultimately I think we're going to stay in this range for a while still. But bearish momentum clearly there. So that's the long-term, mid-long-term there forecast. Now, 4-hour chart, I think a retest of the 21 EMA at 115, 114.75 is likely, and I would like to see a flag pattern here I think a flag pattern would help just in case there's no close and reverse, because let's say this starts to fly up like that. In that case, there could be a close and reverse. And it could be that wave 3 finished here and we get some type of wave, even bigger wave 4 on this time frame. So what I don't want to see is this price move up like that, okay, and start to move too aggressively to the upside. That's why I would like to see a bear flag pattern here, respecting the 115 or max 115.50 zone, okay. But yeah, anything below 116 is bearish, of course, on the 4-hour chart. I'd like to see some kind of bear flag respecting that zone, breaking that bear flag, and move lower towards the targets downstairs. Okay, so if we get that retracement at this moment, price is already moving lower. So might not happen now. We might get an immediate push lower to 113.50 like this. Kind of a channel, and then maybe a retracement. That's also possible. So yeah, a break below 114.35 on this 1-hour chart could be a signal for that push down to 113.50, an immediate one. If it doesn't break below that, then I would like to see a retracement up to 115, a bounce, and break of the flag for a push down to 113.50. All right, pound USD. Yeah, and by the way, if just last thing on the euro dollar, if it hits the 61.8 fib, I'm not expecting a big reaction there. Eventually at 112.90, I think that price will most likely just consolidate and continue to break down to the 78.6 fib. There could be some retracement, but ultimately I'm expecting to move down to the 78.6 fib as the major target here. There could be a retracement back to the 21 EMA on this daily chart, for instance, but not more. That's my my view at the moment. Pound USD, well, looks bearish too, of course, with the breakdown. It's still at the 144 EMA, but yeah, it's moving lower too, and there should be space to fall. Let's put the fib from here to here. As you can see, still space to the 38.2 fib. And we're in a nice downtrend channel. So looks like resistance right here, in fact. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a bouncing spot for more downside. And let's take a look at the hourly chart. Break of this flag pattern could indicate that continuation lower. Targets for downside, 131.50 for the moment. There seems to be quite a lot of space. Let's put the fib on this swing high, swing low. Check out these targets. 133 could be a pausing spot too, 133.25. But after that, 131.75, 132.50. Those are targets to think about for the moment. And then all the way down to 130.80 and then 130. All right, but here to me it looks like a good discount already. If it maybe goes a little bit higher up to 134.75, 135, that's just more discount. I think it's just a retracement within a pretty strong downtrend at this moment on the pound USD. So anything below 135, I think will remain bearish. Anything below 136 remains bearish, but I don't think it'll go that deep. 135, 134 here or up to 135 seems like a decent discount for a move lower to the downside in my view, with those targets in mind. Here at 133.25, 132.50, 131.75, 130.80, 130. Let's put the fib back here. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for at this moment. Both looking pretty bearish in my eyes. All right, that's it. I hope you'll join as an investor. If you have, of course, risk capital to spare that you can afford to risk. With ECS Portfolio. Wish everyone great trading this week, and see you all very soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.